The message that's coming through for this energy that I'm tapping into, or your energy that we're tapping into, is a really soft soul. And it's taken many lifetimes for you to cultivate an understanding that you've been able to return back to you within this lifetime, that your strength is your compassion. Even though it had been mistaken for weakness, I'm hearing even in previous existences, so in something that could have felt like lifetimes ago within this lifetime, it is one of your biggest strengths, vulnerability. And I'm hearing you actually hold this great sounding board for those around you, your great sounding board. I'm also seeing a mediator, because I'm seeing the Queen of Cups energy show up very immensely. So I'm going to go ahead and read the Queen of Cups for you. It definitely gives me that vibe around who are you, because not only are you a great sounding board, but you will also offer this soft advice, but extremely powerful. And I'm hearing also underrated. There's something super compassionate about the way that you respond to those around you. I'm seeing advice that you never give unsolicited, only when asked. And when you do, you give advice directly to the soul. That's another message that's coming through. Directly to the soul and what it needs to hear at that stage of their evolution journey, without making someone feel invalidated emotionally. You also give this constructive but compassionate and gentle, persuasive, influential guidance. But it's not that you're a guide to others, it's that you guide them home to themselves in some way. This is super interesting. Let's read about the Queen of Chalices real quick in this deck. So the Queen of Chalices talks about the mender. So again, you're someone that has this ability to mend what has been broken or fragilized and reunify these aspects of self. So the Queen of Chalices is someone that's playful, harmonious, and youthful. A beautiful splash of color erupts from the water, and within it is a figure ready to take on the stage. They guide the water and the air around in a dance reminiscent of a symphony. Flowers fly through the air in magical waves and dance to the movement of the composer's baton. Exuding effortlessness, the composer harmonizes with the melody of the universe. The composer is a card of great synchronicity, much like the Three of Lotuses. This card speaks directly to the inner harmony in all things. But here, you're taking on part of it as oneness, generating a conscious stream of harmony. When you pull this card in a reading, it can be a strong sign that things are well aligned for you. That much of this is because of your own doing. Continue on the path that you're on, and the world around you will fall into place. I'm seeing this as people that come into your orbit, which is super interesting. Like, things begin to fall into place, maybe from something that you said or something that you've illuminated. We're going to talk about the Queen of Cups now and how it is that you're showing up, the profound impact that you have, and the aftermath of you. That's so funny. The aftermath of you. That's such an interesting ordering of words. Okay. The aftermath of you. You may flow mysteriously in and out of someone's life. It kind of reminds you of the moon. Oh my gosh. Guys, let's talk about when you enter the Queen of Cups house. When you enter the Queen of Cups' house, it doesn't announce itself. There's no grand doorway demanding of no performance and no spectacle. Instead, you feel it before you see it. The air is, it's softer here, just like the moment before, your tears fall and they roll down your cheek, or just after a deep exhale. Time slows in that moment. Your nervous system unwinds without even being asked. This is a house that doesn't impress you. Instead, it just wholeheartedly receives you. So it kind of feels like you have this, with the house representing the soul and self, you create this safe haven, I feel like you create this safe haven, you may not even know it. It may just be like your aura, your auric field. You know, it reminds me of someone that has an incredibly healing aura. Not all of you, but someone could have Neptune conjunct the ascendant, something like that. But what the house feels like is the walls, they seem to listen. There are bowls of water everywhere. They're not decorative, but extremely intentional. Each one holds memories or emotions and unspoken truths. Some are still, some ripple when you pass, responding to what it is that you carry inside. Nothing here demands you to explain yourself. You realize something quietly profound. You don't have to be on in this space. For the first time in a long time, you're not performing your strength, your wisdom, or your resilience. You're simply just allowed to be. So the Queen of Cups herself, she doesn't sit on a throne above you. Instead, she actually comes down and sits with you. Her gaze is steady, but not penetrating like the Queen of Wands. It's enveloping. She sees you in layers of who you are now, as well as who you were when you learned to protect your heart, and who you are becoming when you finally let it soften again. She doesn't rush your story. She already knows it, and still, she listens. The lesson of the house is that the house actually teaches you a different kind of power. Here, strength isn't about confidence or certainty. It's about emotional sovereignty. You begin to notice that you don't have to absorb everything you feel. Empathy doesn't require self-sacrifice. Compassion can exist with boundaries. The Queen of Cups shows you that sensitivity is not fragility, it's discernment. You don't harden here. Instead, you simply clarify. So what guests realize about themselves is those who enter this house leave unchanged, not energized, not hyped, but just integrated. They realize that some of their pain wasn't meant to be healed through effort. Some clarity only arrives through gentleness. And some wounds, they dissolve when they're finally witnessed without judgment. Many leave with tears they didn't know that they were holding. Others leave with a calm they've been chasing for years. But everyone leaves more honest with themselves because they see vulnerability is truly a strength. And that's something that you beautifully display. The quiet invitation from the Queen of Cups is that as you prepare to leave, the Queen, she doesn't give advice. She offers an invitation instead. And she says, carry your heart like water, able to fill, able to flow, but never forced to spill where it isn't honored. As you step back into the world, you realize something subtle but powerful. You don't need to become softer. You already were. You just needed a place where it was safe to remember. And that's exactly what it is. It feels like is going on with you. So let me go ahead and pull a Cosmos Oracle message, and I want to see what's happening within your auric field. Oh, love. We have the 528 frequency. So unconditional love. There's something about unconditional acceptance. Now with DNA, this is the demonstrable gifts. This talks about demonstrable gifts from your ancestral bloodline. And also DNA is memory, right? So there's something that you're remembering about your awareness, and there's something around your awareness is the source of where unconditional love emerges, and your awareness is your interconnectedness to all things. And I'm seeing you hold space for all possible manifestations sourced from the same wisdom that are learning to return to that wisdom once again. And you don't interrupt the soul's journey. You kind of walk them home. But while you do that, there's something interesting because it feels like we're all walking each other home, you know? And then you have the flight. So this is some type of success. Again, it's almost like a launch pad. You create this safe haven for souls to kind of launch themselves forward while having a human experience in a way that previously felt held back. You know, it's like they realize that they are their own source of fuel. And there's some type of fuel. Yeah, we have gravitational acceleration at the base where they move towards a defined target. But they discover it in themselves. They discover it in themselves Right, let's see. I also wanted to get another message. I was going to see what it was. Let's get an advice message for you. I want to get an advice message for the Queen of Cups. Archetype and octave. It's the Queen of Cups. Archetype. You have the Hanged Man and the Three of Pentacles, right? This is your advice. The Hanged Man is a sacrificial card. It also talks about enlightenment. So seeing your life on earth through enlightened eyes is to see it through a light being. And essentially, enlightenment is a certain level of wisdom that you've accumulated through experience, right? Knowledge that you've experienced, knowledge that you've acquired through experience in your third dimensional journey. And that wisdom is now being imparted. That wisdom shared is actual enlightenment. And the reason why that happens is because he's able to look back at his life and see it from an upside down perspective, right? He's hanging himself upside down on the tree of knowledge to try to look at his life story again, but through the lens of the soul. And because of that, he can do it very objectively. He can see it from a high dimensional level of awareness. With the Three of Pentacles, there's something about recognition for how everything has been leading you to this point, but because your success is not even in how you impact those around you, but it's in who it is that you become. Because in who it is that you become, that's why you're impacting those around you. And this feels like not just giving yourself grace with the sacrifice energy. Sacrifice in etymology is to make sacred once again. And in ख़orbin in Hebrew, it means that something new is drawing near as a result of that sacrifice. And there's something that you've been releasing in order to fully receive this version of yourself. And as soon as you receive all of yourself, there's something about how well you're going to be received, and also how well those around you will finally receive the aspects of themselves that they've either been neglecting or rejecting, or abandoning. It's almost like giving yourself permission to hold those wounded parts of yourself and not allow them to define the whole of you. There's just something around that with the Hanged Man and the Three of Pentacles. Something that's built you brick by brick, experiences that have built you layer by layer, because this is a level up. There's some type of new level up that's happening in your life. This could be the role that you're playing at this stage of your life. Let me read the Hanged Man. So the Hanged Man and sacrifice in this deck talks about letting go of control and finally moving on. Embedded in the weightlessness of karma is sacrifice, the tough part of letting go of something you hold dear. But from the orbs, we learn that sacrifice is sometimes necessary in order to move through things. Sometimes sacrifice can be an offering to a higher power, as in exchange for something you deeply desire. But we must be careful not to sacrifice too much, that if we lose focus of our own morals and authentic self. Sacrifice comes up in a reading when it's time to let go of something. If sacrifice is in order, then move through troubling times with grace and strength. You need to realize that your karmic debt is lessening. Whether big or small, sacrifice can feel like you're losing a limb. Letting go of something is never an easy feat. But know that from sacrifice comes love and understanding. When we let go of one thing, we often forget that we're also giving to something else. There's something that you may be releasing at this phase in your life, but this is focusing on what's calling you now. In the circumstances that have prepared you. It feels like an initiation or a preparation to get you to this stage in who it is that you become, where your life experiences have almost been a kind of training ground for the mission that you're now rearranging your life around. That rhymed. That was a good rhyme. Yeah. That's your advice. That's your advice. And there's something that you're building in as this version of self that you've built yourself to be. You've built yourself to become. Yeah. That's very interesting. Some kind of training ground. And also see it as a collaboration. Everything and everyone on your path was simply the unified field of consciousness playing with itself. That lens of the detached, neutral observer, non-judgmental observer, can allow you to see the highest truth and how you brought yourself here. Let's also read the Three of Pentacles. So the Three of Pentacles in this deck talks about willingness to grow and hard work. After spending time in the hot desert, tending to the blooming satisfaction of relief, of the harsh sun offers a chance for cooling down. The sprouts have grown into this majestic Joshua tree, and wild flowers and other flora have found a new home in the cracks on the surface. There is nothing more satisfying than seeing your hard work pay off, especially when it involves physical labor. When this card shows up, it's a sign for your strong determination and willingness to grow. The work you've spent endless hours on is starting to bear fruit. This card is a sign to keep going. Your work is not done, but you're surely heading in the right direction. This feels like emotional. You know what the work has been for you? Releasing. Releasing attachment to the stories that we tell ourselves. Releasing attachment to the characters that have played parts in the story. And if the Hanged Man is great at doing anything, it's deriving and extracting the wisdom from the experiences. He can see himself and everyone else on his journey as a light being, sourced from the exact same wisdom. Each has a part to play in the cosmos. Each has a part to play in the cycles. When you think about the Hanged Man, it's Neptune energy. It's also Thoth. And what Thoth says in the Emerald Tablets is every child of light has a part to play in the cosmos. Each has a part to play in the cycles. What appeared to be disorderly had a secret order to bring you to this place. Yeah. All the chaos had a cosmic order to it. That's your advice. And I don't think you need it. It's just going to be confirmation for you. So I'm going to love any of you guys right there. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, do consider subscribing because we'd love to have you around. Personal reading details are also down below. Also check out Water Spirit if you're looking for some high quality AAE grade jewelry. You have 2 discount codes found in the description box down below. And I'll speak to you very soon. Let me know, guys. Do you feel like you resonated with the Queen of Cups octave? I'd love to see. Until next time. Bye.
Clouds in the sky don't care.